So we are now about to start the seminar. A warm good morning to all present here. Ladies and gentlemen, Bhagyashree Seva Sansthan Aaron takes the privilege to organize a webinar on role of medicinal plants as immunity boosters during COVID-19. On this occasion, I would like to welcome all the participants, our invited guests and speakers who had made this event a practical one. Our country is an abundant source of natural resources, and our traditional practice of Ayurveda suggests about the use of various medicinal plants to cure the different diseases. So, today's discussion will be focused on the utility of medicinal plants to boost our immunity. Therefore, I would like to welcome our today's chief guest, Dr. Anil Prakash, Professor and Head Department of Microbiology, Baghtullah University, Bhopal. So we welcome you on this particular occasion. Now, I would like to introduce about Dr. Anil Prakash a little more. Dr. Anil Prakash is currently involved in the research work, and he has authored and co-authored multiple peer-reviewed scientific papers and presented works at many national and international conferences. And he has contributions in acclaimed recognition from the honorable subject experts around the world. And Dr. Anil Prakash is actively associated with different societies and academies. And academic career is decorated with the several reputed awards and the fundings. And Dr. Anil Prakash research interest is the microbiology, as we all know. So he has many publications in this areas. A few are listed here, which I'm going to tell you. First one is the genetic and antigenic characterization of bovine viral diarrhea virus type 2 isolated from the cattle in India. And the second publication, renowned publication, is the genetic variety of bovine viral diarrhea virus 1 strain isolated from the sheep and goats in the India. And one of the few already know about these type of publications and researches, the students who are going through them. And the third one is the expression of bovine viral diarrhea virus envelope glycoprotein E2 in yeast Pichia pastoris and its application to ELISA for detection of BVDV neutralizing antibodies in the cattle. So this was a brief introduction of Dr. Anil Prakash, and I wish the knowledge and the experience of Dr. Anil Prakash will be very fruitful to all the students and the participants present here. So we will welcome you on this particular occasion. Now I would like to welcome our Professor Niranjan Shrotia sir. अब इनके बारे में अगर हम बात करें तो ये आरन में भी कार्यरत रह चुके हैं और इनकी पीएचडी वनस्पति शास्त्र से है। आपने शासकीय महाविद्यालय आरोन के पूर्व प्राचार्य रहे हैं एवं पीजी कॉलेज गुना में वनस्पति शास्त्र के प्राध्यापक हैं। इन्होंने कई सृजन किए हैं जिसका मैं आपको वर्णन बताना चाहूंगी। उनके जैसे कि उनके बीच का जहर तथा अन्य कहानियां 1987 में इन्होंने लिखी थी। जहां से जन्म लेते हैं पंख कविता का इन्होंने लिखा था, ये 2002 की है। जुगलबंदी, धुआं, आगरताल तीली, ये कई प्रकार की कहानियां, कविताएं और निबंध इन्होंने लिखे हैं। और ये युवा कविता के 6 संचयनों युवा द्वादश का भी संपादन किया है इन्होंने और साहित्यिक पत्रिका समावर्तन के यह मुख्य संपादक रहे हैं। कई रचनाओं का अंग्रेजी एवं भारतीय भाषाओं में अनुवाद किया है आपने और बच्चों के लिए भी कई प्रकार के लेखन लिखे हैं। इसीलिए इन्हें कई प्रकार के सम्मान भी दिए गए हैं, जिनमें से मुख्य हैं अभिनव शब्द शिल्पी सम्मान और सृजन पक्ष सम्मान। और आज के समय पर भी वनस्पति शास्त्र की स्नातक स्तर की पुस्तकों का लेखन करते हैं। सर, इस उपलक्ष्य पर हम आपका भी यहाँ पर काफी तहे दिल से आभार व्यक्त करते हैं कि आपने समय निकालकर इस वेबिनार में पार्टिसिपेट करने का कष्ट उठाया। We welcome you, sir. Then we have our beloved principal ma'am, Dr. Suman Srivastav here, and she is the principal of Government College Aaron, and she is a professor in chemistry and has more than 30 years of experience in teaching and research field. She is the keen lover of innovations and always a motivational force behind the conduct of seminars and conferences in our college and all the activities associated with the Aaron. So ma'am, we welcome you on this occasion. And we have our keynote speaker, Dr. Sugandha Singh, PhD, MSc, and she is the head Department of Biotechnology, Sant Hirdaram Girls College, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. On this auspicious occasion, she is the keynote speaker, and we wish you, ma'am, all the best. And I would like to to introduce her more about. Like she has n number of you can say achievements in her pocket. Like she has more than 15 years of teaching experience, and her research interests include plant biotechnology, environment science, molecular biology, and she is working as a member in various board of studies in botany and biotechnology in Barkala University, CKT Science, Arts and Commerce College, Panvel and Mumbai, and Sri Satya Sai College for Women in Bhopal. She is the coordinator of Microbiologist Society for Bhopal and is working as academic counselor of IGNU also. And she is actively involved in research and has received many young scientist fellowships. She has worked in renowned research institutes like CSIR NCL Pune, CSIR CIMAF, MEP Lucknow, and the Department of Biotechnology and Bioinformatics Center, BU Bhopal. And she has organized many training, many workshops and seminars at the convener and delivered lectures as a subject expert in various organizations. Her educational lectures are also telecast on the Doordarshan MP, and she has published more than 15 research papers and presented more than 25 research papers in the seminars and conferences at both national as well as international level. And she is also a good orator and a recipient of several awards and recognitions, like a few of them I'm reading out. Like she was the jury member for scientific poster session in national seminar at CKT Autonomous College, Panvel, Mumbai. And she was conferred honorary fellowship for outstanding contributions in the field of life sciences by the Society of Life Sciences. And she R.K. Paroda Best Presentation Award, Rajasthan Science College, Udaipur. She has also achieved that. And the honor for teachers and achievements, an annual program of HSGC Bhopal in a consecutive for 5 years from 2015 to 2019 almost. And she was a jury member for scientific poster sessions in the international conferences at BITS Pilani and Dubai 2019, and many more. She has n number of achievements in her pocket. So we have very rich speaker along with us on this particular occasion of webinar. We welcome you, ma'am, on this particular occasion. So this was a brief introduction of our invited guest and the speakers. Now I would like to invite Dr. Niranjan Srotia, sir, Professor Botany, to please speak few words on this particular occasion. Sir, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Anil Prakash, the chief guest of this webinar, Dr. Sugandha Singh, Dr. Suman Srivastava, special guest, and Mr. Sunil Soni, who is the convener of the Mere Guru project in this webinar. Actually, this is very hard time when we are fighting COVID-19, and as far as the precautionary measure is concerned, there are two ways to fight this COVID-19. One is prevention and another is cure. But in my opinion, there are two alternative measures. One is prevention and another is also prevention. And this prevention may be achieved by boosting our immunity, which is stored in our human body. And there are various ways, and of course the role of medicinal plant is very important in achieving these immunity boosters. As far as we will be enlightened by the, of course, the scientific and more knowledgeable part by our learned speakers, Dr. Anil Prakash and Dr. Sugandha Singh. Just I want to say something about the immune system. As we can boost our immune system. हम अपने प्रतिरक्षा प्रणाली कैसे सुदृढ़ कर सकते हैं कि किस तरह से पैथोजन जो हमारे शरीर में यदि प्रविष्ट होता है, it enters, हमारी जो प्रतिरक्षा प्रणाली है, जिसकी कमी से इम्यूनो डिफिशियंसी हमें हो जाती है, तो उसको किस तरह से सुदृढ़ बना सकते हैं। तो इस पक्ष में निश्चित रूप से मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स जो औषधीय पौधे हैं हमारे, और जो निश्चित रूप से हमारे बहुत प्राचीन परंपरा से भी आया है, जिसमें कि आयुर्वेद एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण हिस्सा है, जिसमें कि निश्चित रूप से कई औषधीय पौधों का इस्तेमाल हुआ है। और जहाँ तक अभी आयुष मंत्रालय ने भी या जिस तरह से जो इम्यूनिटी बूस्टर के रूप में जो सजेस्ट किया है, जो सुझाया है, वो जैसे त्रिकूट काढ़ा इस वक्त बहुत पॉपुलर हो रहा है, जिसमें कि ऑसिमम और दालचीनी, सिनेमन है, ट्राइजिंजर सौंठ है, कृष्ण मरीचिया, गिलोय है, टिनोस्पोरा कार्डिफोलिया। तो ये सारी चीजें, काली मिर्च है, ब्लैक है, तो ये सारी चीजें जिस तरह से एक काढ़े के रूप में सॉर्ट ऑफ डिकॉक्शन जो दी जा रही है, इसका काम एक्चुअली में दिस इज नॉट टू क्योर कोविड-19 वी नो, बट जैसा कि मैंने कहा, तो प्रिवेंशन कैन बी अचीव्ड बाय बूस्टिंग आवर इम्यूनिटी। तो जितने भी मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स हैं, चाहे वो पिनिन हो, तो पिनिन जो है वो also used in hydroxychloroquine as a cure of COVID-19. Then there are many plants which are suggested like cowslip flower, then African cherry, ginseng, a very important root of a plant known as Panax ginseng, vetiver, dandelion, aloe vera, of course. So these are the very important, so many. Along with these plants, these medicinal plants, they can boost our immunity to fight this poisonous virus COVID-19. So this is my just beginning note, or you can say that I've just opened the door of discussion. So this is what I have to say. How the plants, they can play a very important role in boosting our immunity. Thank you very much.
मैं आपको क्या अपना प्रेजेंटेशन मेल कर दूं, उधर से आप चला दें, ऐसा है? ऐसा करती हूँ, उसका मेल आईडी जरा भेजिए। हाँ।
Okay, I have finished.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to invite our Dr. Suman Srivastava ma'am, Professor Chemistry and Principal, Government College Aron, to please speak few words on this occasion. Ma'am, please.
नमस्कार। सर्वप्रथम मैं भाग्यश्री सेवा संस्थान के डायरेक्टर सुनील सोनी जी को धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगी तो इस वेबिनार में मुझे आमंत्रित किया। इस वेबिनार में आमंत्रित आज के चीफ गेस्ट श्री अनिल प्रकाश जी, स्पेशल गेस्ट डॉक्टर निरंजन श्रोती जी, की स्पीकर नोट डॉक्टर सुगंधा सिंह, कार्यक्रम को कंडक्ट कर रहे हैं सोनेश पुनिया। मैं आप सभी का स्वागत करती हूँ शासकीय महाविद्यालय आरोन की ओर। आज का वेबिनार का जो विषय है, यह कहना चाहिए कोविड-19 आज महामारी जो है वो विकराल रूप ले चुकी है। इस महामारी से निपटने के लिए अभी तक कोई विशेष औषधि या वैक्सीन नहीं बन पाई है। यदि हम एलोपैथी की बात करें तो वहाँ पर हाइड्रोक्सीक्लोरोक्विन, डेक्सोमेथासोन जो अभी आज ही रिसर्च में आया है, विटामिन सी, विटामिन डी या रेमडेसिविर द्वारा इसका कहना चाहिए उपचार किया जा रहा है। काफी अच्छे रिजल्ट्स भी इसके मिल रहे हैं। होम्योपैथी की बात करें तो आर्सेनिक एल्बा 30 का इसमें थोड़ा सा कहना चाहिए उपाय बताया जा रहा है कि उससे भी काफी हद तक पेशेंट ठीक हो सकते हैं। यदि हम आयुर्वेद की बात करें तो आयुर्वेद में जड़ी बूटियों के द्वारा इसके इलाज का उपाय बताया जा रहा है, जो काफी हद तक कारगर भी हो रहा है, क्योंकि यह अपने हमारे इम्यूनिटी सिस्टम को बढ़ाता है। यदि हम अपने इम्यूनिटी सिस्टम की बात करें तो हमें इसके लिए हमारी जीवन शैली, हमारे खान पान पर ध्यान देना होगा, स्वास्थ्य जागरूक होना होगा। भारत में यदि हम इस महामारी को देखें तो 3.5 महीने में 3.5 लाख लोग इससे संक्रमित हो चुके हैं, लेकिन हमारी रिकवरी रेट अच्छी है। हमारी रिकवरी रेट का अच्छा होना मुख्य रूप से यही है कि अधिकांश भारतीय जो है वो शाकाहारी है। यदि हम अपनी दिनचर्या को एक बार देखें तो हम अधिकांश भारतीय घरों में दिनचर्या की शुरुआत चाय से होती है। चाय में हम चाय पत्ती डालते हैं जो जिसके अंदर की कैफीन होता है। एक शोध में कहा गया है कि यदि हम दिन में 2 या 3 बार चाय पीते हैं तो कैफीन जो है वो भी कोरोना वायरस से लड़ने में काफी हद तक हमें हेल्पफुल है। इसके बाद हम बात करें, चाय में हम अदरक, सौंठ कहना चाहिए, तुलसी, काली मिर्च आदि का भी उपयोग करते हैं। ये सभी, सौंठ को हम कहें तो ये हमारी मेटाबॉलिक रेट को बढ़ाता है, डाइजेशन को इम्प्रूव करता है। काली मिर्च की बात करें तो यह एंटीऑक्सीडेंट है। इसी के साथ हमारे घरों में तुलसी का पौधा जरूर होता है, जो कि एक होली प्लांट के रूप में माना गया है। क्योंकि इसकी मेडिसिनल उपयोग बहुत ज्यादा है। यह एंटी माइक्रोबियल है, अपने आसपास के वातावरण को स्वच्छ रखता है। भारतीय पद्धति में सबसे अधिक मेडिसिनल प्लांट या जड़ी बूटियों का ही उपयोग किया गया है। क्योंकि यह सरलता से उपलब्ध हो जाते हैं, इनकी कॉस्ट कम होती है और इनके साइड इफेक्ट्स न के बराबर है। यदि हम अपने खान पान की ओर जाएं तो हमारे मसाले, विशेषकर हल्दी अभी इसमें कहा गया है कोविड-19 में कि आप सुबह शाम हल्दी का दूध, आजकल मिल्क हल्दी का दूध डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किया जा रहा है। क्योंकि हल्दी जो है वो भी एंटीऑक्सीडेंट है, एंटी इन्फ्लेमेटरी है, एंटी सेप्टिक है, एंटी फंगल है। तो इस तरह से हम देखते हैं कि हमारे भारतीय खान पान में बहुत से ऐसे मेडिसिनल प्लांट है जो कि हमारी इम्यूनिटी बढ़ाने में हमें हेल्पफुल है, हमारी इम्यूनिटी बढ़ाने में। और इसीलिए हमारे यहाँ संक्रमण दर तो ज्यादा है, लेकिन मोर्टिलिटी या कहना चाहिए मृत्यु दर जो है वो कम है, क्योंकि हमारी इम्यूनिटी इन सब मेडिसिनल प्लांट के उपयोग करने से काफी हद तक सही है। तो मैं यही कहना चाहूंगी कि हमें अधिक से अधिक हमें अपने साग सब्जी या फलों का उपयोग करना है, जिससे कि हमारी रोग प्रतिरोधक क्षमता बढ़े। हमें कोरोना से डरना नहीं है, कोरोना का रोना नहीं है। कोरोना से हमें जंग जीतना है और इस संसार को कोरोना मुक्त करना है। यही शुभकामनाएं।
Thank you so much, ma'am. Your words are really very inspirational and knowledgeable to all of us. और आज की जो कॉन्फ्रेंस है वो इसी उपलक्ष्य में आयोजित कराई भी जा रही है। तो मैम आपके सहयोग के लिए और आपके समय के लिए बहुत धन्यवाद। इसी के साथ हम आगे बढ़ते हैं। Now I would like to invite our chief guest, Dr. Anil Prakash, Professor and Head, Department of Microbiology, Barkatullah University, Bhopal, to please speak few words on this occasion. Sir, please.
सभी को गुड मॉर्निंग। और मैं सभी मतलब आपके डायरेक्टर, सबसे पहले प्रथम डायरेक्टर सुनील सोनी जी का धन्यवाद देता हूँ कि उन्होंने मुझे इस वेबिनार में बुलाया और इस वेबिनार में मेरे को अपने मत को रखने का भी उन्होंने अवसर दिया कि जिससे कि मैं कुछ बता पाऊँ। साथ ही साथ प्रोफेसर निरंजन, डॉक्टर सुमन श्रीवास्तव जी, डॉक्टर सुगंधा, डॉक्टर सोनेश पूनिया जी जो अब इस वेबिनार को कंडक्ट करा रही हैं, और जो भाग्यश्री सेवा संस्थान आरोन का भी मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा कि आपने मुझे इस अवसर पर बोलने का मौका दिया है।
थैंक यू सर। और
आज का जो टॉपिक आप लोगों ने रखा है वो मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स एज ए इम्यून मॉड्यूलेटर। तो वैसे तो आपको हमारे पूर्व के जो निरंजन जी ने और मैडम श्रीवास्तव जी ने बताया कि हमारे कहना चाहिए कि पूरे संसार में ऐसा कोई सा भी पौधा जो नहीं है कि जो कि मेडिसिनल उपयोग में नहीं आता है। सारे पौधे अगर हम देखें तो किसी न किसी तरीके से वो पौधे मेडिसिनल वैल्यूज हैं। ये कह देना गलत होगा कि ये पौधा मेडिसिनल उपयोग में नहीं आता है, इसलिए बेकार है, क्योंकि या तो हम उसके बारे में जानते नहीं हैं कि इसलिए हो सकता है हम कह दें कि सब ये मेडिसिन, इसकी कोई वैल्यूज नहीं है, मगर कहीं ना कहीं उसकी कोई ना कोई वैल्यू है जिसको कि हम आइडेंटिफाई नहीं कर पाए हैं, जिसके कारण कि हम ये कह दें कि सब ये पौधा अनुपयोगी है। तो वैसे भी अगर आप देखिए आज से बहुत कई साल पुराना, 5000 साल पुराना, शुरू में कोई ऐसे मतलब हमारे मेडिकल की दवाइयाँ तो नहीं होती थी, आयुर्वेद ही चलता था। प्लांट्स जो थे उन्हीं का उपयोग में किया जाता था कि सभी सर्जरी हो या कोई भी आपको बीमारी होती थी तो कोई ना कोई पौधा उसके लिए उपयोग में आता था। अब यह है कि कुछ बहुत सारे पौधे जितने भी हैं, एक हमारे जो शरीर के अंदर ये कहना नहीं होगा कि ये पर्टिकुलर किसी एक चीज के लिए उपयोगी में आते हैं। सवाल ये कि हमारा हर पौधा जो है उसमें कोई ना कोई वैल्यू है और कोई ना कुछ वो हमारे शरीर में जाके वो उसको जो हमारी प्रतिरोधात्मक क्षमता जो है, मतलब जिसको कहते हैं हम इम्यूनिटी जो है, उसको हमको बढ़ाता है। और उसमें सबसे बड़ा जो हमारी जो इम्यूनिटी को कमजोर करता है वो हमारे ऑक्सीडेंट्स है। क्या ये भी कहा जा रहा है जैसे कोविड-19 के परिप्रेक्ष्य में कि आप अपना जो विचार है वो पॉजिटिव रखें, नेगेटिविटी अपने दिमाग में मत लाएं। अगर आप नेगेटिविटी नहीं लाएंगे तो नेचुरल वे में आपके जो पौधे जो ये कहना चाहिए कि इम्यून सिस्टम है वो आपका बूस्ट अप होगा नेचुरल वे में भी, क्योंकि पॉजिटिविटी से हमेशा नेचुरल सिस्टम बूस्ट होता है। उसके आपको परिणाम देखने के कहते हैं ना, अच्छे विचारों से अच्छे चीजें होती हैं। तो एक उसके कारण भी ये रहता है कि आप अच्छे विचार रखिए तो आपके सारे काम अच्छे ही होंगे। तो एक तो यही है। दूसरा बात है कि ये जो पौधे हैं ये कहीं ना कहीं हर पौधा ये एंटीऑक्सीडेंट प्रोड्यूस करता है, और एंटीऑक्सीडेंट प्रोड्यूस करने के कारण जो हमारे शरीर में जो ऑक्सीडेंट बनते हैं, किसी खान पान से बनते हैं या हमारे विचारों से बनते हैं या हमारे कोई भी एक्शन से बनते हैं, उनको ये जो है कम करता है। तो मैं ये चाहूंगा कि जो कन्वीनर है वो हमको शेयर करें। तो मेरे पास कुछ स्लाइडें हैं, उनको मैं दिखाना चाहूंगा। तो अब हमारे जो ये बातचीत चलती रहती है कि सब ये मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स हैं या हम इस मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स को लेंगे तो हमारा ये रोग ठीक हो जाएगा। तो अब हम जब अपने नाड़ी वैद्य के पास जाते हैं या किसी आयुर्वेदिक के पास जाते हैं तो वो कहीं ना कहीं सब मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स को बताते हैं कि ये वाला कुछ चूर्ण बना के देते हैं, कुछ पेस्ट बना के देते हैं या कुछ गोलियां देते हैं, जिसके कारण हम वो लेते हैं और हमारा जो शरीर की जो जो इम्यून सिस्टम है उसको वो बूस्ट अप करते हैं। और ये जो मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स होते हैं ये जो हैं इनमें कहीं ना कहीं कोई बायोएक्टिव कंपाउंड, जिनको कि कोई ना कोई ऐसा कंपाउंड रहता है जो कि ये इन सब चीजों के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल होता है। और इसको हम कई सालों से, 1000 सालों से हम लोग इसको यूज करते आ रहे हैं पर्पज। और इसलिए हम इनको जो कि हमारे कहते हैं कि वो अभी आपको पूर्व में जो स्पीकर थे उन्होंने बताया कि तुलसी है, अश्वगंधा है, मुलेठी है, एलोवेरा है, नीम है, अदरक है, हल्दी है, गिलोय है, ये सारी चीजें जो हैं हमको बहुत फायदा पहुंचाती हैं। और ये ऐसा नहीं कि आज हम खाएं और आज ही हमको इसका फायदा मिल जाए, नहीं, इसको हमको अपने पूरे जीवन में हमेशा लेते रहना पड़ेगा। और इसके कारण जो हमारे अंदर जो ऑक्सीडेंट प्रोड्यूस होते हैं वो खत्म करते जाते हैं। तो उसके कारण हमारे जो क्षमता है जो कि रोग से लड़ने की, उसको ये आगे बढ़ाते हैं, जिसके कारण वो रोग हमारे ऊपर हावी नहीं हो पाता है। तो जैसे हम बात करें इस पिक्चर में आपको दिख रहा होगा कि ह्यूमन इम्यून सिस्टम, जो हमारा इम्यून सिस्टम है वो एक मतलब जो हमें कहना चाहिए कि ऑर्गन्स है, एक पूरा जो इम्यून सिस्टम बनाता है, वो उसमें थाइमस है, बोन मैरो है, लिवर है, स्प्लीन है और लिम्फेटिक सिस्टम है। इन सब चीजों का जो है वो बड़ा भारी इंपॉर्टेंस है। ये जो हमारे जो बॉडी में दो प्रकार के इम्यून सिस्टम का जो रहता है, एक इनेट इम्यून सिस्टम रहता है और दूसरा एडाप्टिव इम्यून सिस्टम। जैसे हम कहते हैं कि नहीं क्यों सभी हमारा इम्यून सिस्टम इम्यून हम बात करते रहते इम्यून सिस्टम, तो मैं उसी के बारे में आपको बताना चाह रहा था कि इम्यून सिस्टम होता क्या है। इम्यून सिस्टम में ये सब चीजें जो मैंने आपको बताई अभी, ये ऑर्गन्स जो है इसमें काम आते हैं, और यही ऑर्गन्स में जो हमारे जब बच्चा पैदा होता है तब कुछ हमारे ये जो सेल्स हैं वो इसमें रिस्पॉन्सिबल रहते हैं, और उसके कारण हमारा इम्यून सिस्टम बहुत स्ट्रांग होता है। जैसे कहते हैं कि जब माँ का दूध पीना चाहिए, बच्चे को माँ का दूध पिलाना बहुत जरूरी है, जिससे कि उसका इम्यूनिटी बहुत ज्यादा डेवलप होगी। अगर तो इसलिए कहा जाता है कि 3 महीने तक बच्चों को माँ का दूध पिलाना बहुत जरूरी है। उसके बाद फिर हम धीरे धीरे उसको ऐसा खाद्य पदार्थ खाना देना चाहिए जिससे कि कारण वो जो है वो और भी उसके जो हमारे सेल्स है, इम्यून सेल्स है, जो इम्यूनिटी को डेवलप करते हैं, वो बहुत स्ट्रांग बने, जिनको के कारण वो लड़ सके हमारे। क्योंकि अगर आप देखें कि हम अपने जब इनहेल करते हैं, उस इनहेल करने का उससे जो हवा से सांस से कई हजारों कण हमारे शरीर के अंदर जाते हैं, और वो जो कण हमारे शरीर के अंदर जाते हैं वो कहीं ना कहीं जो हमारे इम्यून सिस्टम है, जो किनको हम कहते हैं एंटीबॉडीज, वो जो हमारे शरीर के अंदर गए वो उनके लिए एंटीजेंस के तरह काम करते हैं। तो एंटीजन कोई सा भी हो तो वो उसके लिए फाइट करते हैं और उसको वो नष्ट करते हैं, भले ही वो जीवित कण हो या मरा हुआ कण हो। तो मगर उसको तो ये पता नहीं, तो वो हर एक के लिए काम करता है हमारा इम्यून सिस्टम, और वो उसको नष्ट करता है अपने बॉडी में। इससे फिर हमारे जो बी सेल्स हैं और टी सेल्स हैं ये बड़े रिस्पॉन्सिबल होते हैं। वो जो बोन मैरो से हम लोगों को बी सेल्स जो प्रोड्यूस होते हैं वो एंटीबॉडीज बनाते हैं, और जो हमारे जो टी सेल्स भी हैं वहाँ पर मैच्योर होके ये एंटीबॉडीज और वहाँ पर अपने इस जो रोग उत्पन्न करने वाले जीवाणु होते हैं या कीटाणु होते हैं उनको वो ये नष्ट करते हैं। तो अब सवाल ये उठता है कि ये जो हमारे एंटीबॉडीज हैं, ये इनको क्या चाहिए, इनको ताकत क्यों चाहिए? क्योंकि नेचुरल है, हम अगर मान लीजिए हमारे यहाँ हमारे शरीर में ऑक्सीडेंट्स बन रहे हैं या हम नेगेटिव सोच रहे हैं, तो और या कोई ऐसी कोई नेगेटिविटी हमारे शरीर के अंदर पहुंच रही है, तो उसमें क्या होता है कि हमारी ये जो इम्यून सिस्टम है ये थोड़ा सा वीक पड़ जाता है। जब इम्यून सिस्टम हमारा वीक पड़ता है तो ये इम्यून सिस्टम हमें तो कहना चाहिए कि जो सेल्स है ये भी हमारे वीक पड़ जाते हैं। तो इनको कैसे स्टिमुलेट करें, इनको किस प्रकार से हम इनको कहना चाहिए कि सहायता पहुंचाएं कि ये स्ट्रॉन्ग बने टू फाइट अगेंस्ट दी पैथोजेंस, टू फाइट अगेंस्ट दी एंटीजेंस। तो हमारे इसमें जितने भी जो प्लांट्स हैं which are having the मतलब which we know about that they are having the medicinal values, तो उन मेडिसिनल वैल्यूज के अनुसार हम इन जो लेते हैं वो प्लांट्स का एक्सट्रैक्ट लेते हैं। जिस प्रकार से निरंजन ने भी बताया कि एक अभी गवर्नमेंट ऑफ मध्य प्रदेश ने या गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने भी कहा कि जो त्रिकुट है काढ़ा पीने से हमारे शरीर की प्रतिरोधात्मक शक्ति जो मतलब बढ़ती है, जिससे कि हमारी क्यों बढ़ती है, जो हमारे जो एंटीबॉडीज हैं ये सेल्स हैं जो ये आपके इन सब से लड़ती है, जो कि हमारे शरीर को हानि पहुंचाने वाले जीवाणु से या कीटाणु से जो लड़ती है, उनको ये शक्ति प्रदान करती है। इनको शक्ति कहाँ से मिलती है? इन्हीं सब चीजों से मिलती है जो हम ये काढ़े से ले रहे हैं। क्योंकि ये काढ़ा अगर हम पीते हैं तो डेली पीना चाहिए, ये नहीं कि आज हमने पी ली और हमारा पता लगा हम बिल्कुल ही मैन की तरह बन गए, ये नहीं होता है। हमको अगर ही मैन बनना है या हमको इन शक्तियों से लड़ना है तो हमको इसको रोजाना हमको अपने जीवन में दिनचर्या में इसको हमें लेना आवश्यक होगा। ये जो इम्यूनिटी ये जो जब हमारे शरीर के अंदर में जाते हैं तो दो प्रकार के इसमें होते हैं। इम्यूनो मॉड्यूलेटर, एक तो इम्यूनो स्टिमुलेंट होते हैं और एक इम्यूनो सप्रेसेंट होते हैं। तो जो सप्रेस करते हैं उनके बात अपन नहीं करेंगे, क्योंकि ये क्या है कि इम्यूनो सप्रेसेंट मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स नहीं होते, क्योंकि ये हमको कहीं ना कहीं हमको मतलब मेडिसिन लेनी पड़ती है। जिस प्रकार से अगर हम कोई किडनी हम ट्रांसप्लांट करते हैं तो हमारे शरीर के लिए वो किसी दूसरे की किडनी जब जाती है तो वो हमारे शरीर के लिए एक प्रकार का एंटीजन है, क्योंकि दूसरे शरीर से आई है। तो उसमें हमारे क्या होती है, जो एंटीबॉडीज होती हैं वो उसको रिजेक्ट करने के लिए बहुत सारा स्टिमुलेट करती है। तो हमको उसको उनको सप्रेस करने के लिए हमको मेडिसिन लेनी पड़ती है, जिसके कारण वो हमारे जो हमने नई किडनी लगाई है या नया ऑर्गन लगाया है उसको हमारी बॉडी से एक्टिवेट कराने के लिए हमें इम्यूनो सप्लीमेंट जो है इनको हमको नहीं मतलब लेना पड़ता है, जिसके कारण वो दब जाते हैं और जिससे कि हमारे जो शरीर में जो ऑर्गन लगा है उसको वो उसके लिए हमारे शरीर को कहना मतलब ये हो जाता है कि हाँ भाई ये अब हमारे शरीर का पार्ट है, इसको अब नष्ट नहीं करना है। तो इसी कारण से जो इम्यूनो स्टिमुलेंट्स हैं ये मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स हैं। इसमें स्पेसिफिक भी होते हैं, कुछ नॉन स्पेसिफिक भी होते हैं, जिसमें कि स्पेसिफिक में कुछ पर्टिकुलर स्टिमुलेट्स करते हैं, कुछ पर्टिकुलर सेल्स को वो स्टिमुलेट करते हैं, जिसके कारण वो स्टिमुलेट होते हैं और वो एक अपने मतलब कहना चाहिए कि जीवाणु से या कीटाणुओं से वो लड़ते हैं। तो मतलब अल्टीमेटली ये जो भी हैं, जो हमारे इम्यूनो स्टिमुलेंट्स हैं, वो हमारे शरीर में जो भी सेल्स हैं, बी सेल्स हैं, टी सेल्स हैं और भी कई सेल्स हैं जो कि हमारे शरीर में जो एंटीजेंस पहुंच रहे हैं उनसे फाइट करने के लिए वो जो लड़ते हैं, उनके लड़ने के लिए ये हमारे जो मेडिसिनल प्लांट हैं वो बड़े इंपॉर्टेंट एज ए स्टिमुलेंट काम में आते हैं। इसमें ये जो बायोएक्टिव कंपाउंड्स हैं, कई प्रकार के बायोएक्टिव कंपाउंड्स रहते हैं, क्योंकि मैं उनका जिक्र तो नहीं कर सकता हूँ, क्योंकि एक एक प्लांट में कई प्रकार के अगर हम देखें तो फाइटोकेमिकल्स जो है अगर हम एनालिसिस कराते हैं तो उन फाइटोकेमिकल्स के एनालिसिस कराने में कई प्रकार के कंपाउंड्स हमको मिलते हैं और वो कंपाउंड्स हैं वो बायोएक्टिव और उनको हम यूज करते हैं अपने स्टिमुलेशन के लिए। जो हमारे इम्यून सेल्स हैं उनको स्टिमुलेट करते हैं, जिसके ज्यादा से ज्यादा वो सेल्स प्रोड्यूस करें और स्ट्रॉन्ग सेल्स प्रोड्यूस करें, ना कि वीक सेल्स प्रोड्यूस करें। कब जिस प्रकार से जो हम ये जो टी सेल्स हैं, मैक्रोफेजेस हैं, या ये कहना चाहिए कि जिस प्रकार से नेचुरल किलर सेल्स हैं, ये इनको भी स्टिमुलेंट करते हैं, जिसके कारण ये ज्यादा से ज्यादा प्रोड्यूस होते हैं और इनको हम ये कह सकते हैं कि ये जब अगर ज्यादा से ज्यादा प्रोड्यूस होंगे टू फाइट अगेंस्ट दी पैथोजेनिक माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म। और उसी प्रकार से जो प्लांट प्रोडक्ट्स हैं मॉड्यूलेट सिक्रेशन करते हैं, जो इंटरल्यूकिन्स हैं, इंटरफेरॉन्स हैं और हमारे एंटीबॉडीज हैं, इनको स्टिमुलेट करते हैं और ये ज्यादा से ज्यादा इनको स्ट्रॉन्ग बनाते हैं, जिसके कारण हम लोग पैथोजेनिक माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म से लड़ सकते। क्योंकि अभी आप ये हम लोग सब जो बात कर रहे हैं, जो कोविड-19 की हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं, इसकी आपको सबको मालूम है कि कोई अभी दवा भी नहीं आई है और अभी हम इसको वैक्सीन इसके बारे में हम लोग वैक्सीन के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं कि 4 से 6 महीने में वैक्सीन आ जाएगी। जिस प्रकार से आपको आपके प्रिंसिपल साहिबा ने बताया, मेरे सुमन श्रीवास्तव जी ने, कि हम अभी कोविड-19 कुछ भी नहीं आया है, मगर हम लोगों के यहाँ की जो रेट है, कम से कम इंडिया की जो रेट है, हम लोग संक्रमित ज्यादा हैं मगर डेथ रेट बहुत कम है। क्यों? क्योंकि एक तो इसलिए क्योंकि हम लोग ये मेडिसिनल जो आयुर्वेद हमारे कई सालों से चला आ रहा है, उसके कारण आज भी हमारे बहुत कुछ बचाव है। और आज इस आयुर्वेदिक के कारण बहुत से माइक्रो मतलब कहना चाहिए कि बहुत से देश इसको यूज करने के लिए तत्पर हैं और वो यूज भी कर रहे हैं। उनको मालूम पड़ गया है कि जो मेडिसिनल वैल्यूज है इन प्लांटों की वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, जिससे कि हमारे और आज की तारीख में जो नए नए प्रकार के जो बीमारियां आ रही हैं उससे फाइट करने के लिए हमको इन मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स को यूज में आना पड़ेगा। और क्योंकि ये इसके अंदर जो बायोएक्टिव कंपाउंड्स हैं वो बायोएक्टिव कंपाउंड डेफिनेटली हमारे शरीर के जो इम्यून सिस्टम है उसको आगे बढ़ाते हैं। तो तो मैं इसी बारे में आपको कहना चाहता हूँ, बस अपना मैं बात को दो शब्दों में रखना चाहूंगा कि हम लोगों को इन जो मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स हैं इनको संभाल के रखना चाहिए, क्योंकि बायोडाइवर्सिटी के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से भी हमको संभाल कर रखना चाहिए, और इनकी जो बायोएक्टिव प्रॉपर्टीज हैं इसको भी ध्यान में रखते हुए इनको हमको सहेज के रखना चाहिए। इनके जिस प्रकार से शुरू में पूर्व में हमारे कहा भी जाता था कि इन पौधों को कहना चाहिए कि इनकी पूजा करें, तो हर पौधे का पूजा करने का मतलब, तुलसी की पूजा करने का मतलब, पूजा करने का क्या मतलब है? पूजा का मतलब ये है कि हम इनको मतलब कहना चाहिए कि नष्ट ना होने दें, और इस जब नष्ट नहीं होंगे तो हम इनको सहेज कर रखेंगे, तो ये आगे जीवन में, हमारे जीवन में कहीं ना कहीं ये काम में आएंगे और इनका हम उपयोग कर पाएंगे। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ, क्योंकि आपके साथ हमारा डॉक्टर सुगंधा सिंह भी हैं जो कि आपको इसके बारे में और ज्यादा अच्छे से ज्यादा बताएंगे, क्योंकि ये इसी के ऊपर वो कार्य कर रही हैं, क्योंकि इन्होंने टिश्यू कल्चर पे भी बहुत काम किया है मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स के, और इसके बारे में भी आपको बहुत कुछ बताएंगे कि किसका कहाँ पर क्या ज्यादा उपयोग है। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं पुनः जो भाग्यश्री सेवा संस्थान आरोन को भी मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगा कि मुझे इस मौके पर उन्होंने मुख्य अतिथि के रूप में बुलाया। धन्यवाद।
थैंक यू सर। और बहुत ही नटशेल में आपने बहुत बड़ी बड़ी बातें हम सबको बताई, और बहुत यूजफुल एक आपने ट्रेडिशन को भी हाईलाइट किया आज। जैसे कि आपने कहा कि जितने भी पेड़ पौधे हैं जिनका मेडिसिनल यूज है, इनको हम एज यूज करते हैं, इनकी हम प्रेयर करते हैं फ्रॉम द एंशिएंट टाइम। सो दिस वाज द बेसिक कंसेप्ट बिहाइंड दैट, टू सेव दैट पर्टिकुलर बायोडाइवर्सिटी फ्रॉम बीइंग लॉस्ट. So thank you, sir, once again reminding us, the new generation, about this fact. And I hope the people here attending the conference or this webinar will be benefited by your views. Thank you so much, sir, for having with us on this particular occasion. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Sugandha Singh. She is the keynote speaker today, and she will be speaking on role of medicinal plants as immunity boosters during the COVID-19. This was the theme of the webinar also. So, ma'am, please.
Yeah. So, sabhi ko namaskar. At the outset, I would like to thank the organizing team, especially Shri Sunil Soni ji and his entire team, for giving me this opportunity to present my findings before you all. Very good morning to Dr. Niranjan Shroti, Dr. Suman Srivastav, and Dr. Anil Prakash ji. Thank you so much. Before starting, I wish to again say thanks to you all for again giving me this wonderful opportunity to talk on a very burning issue, burning topic, as we all are facing corona pandemic at present. And although we are aware and sensitized about how we have to, follow a code of conduct, how we have to, live our lives peacefully without having any stress, and, making use of the maximum potential of the herbal plants, the medicinal plants, so that we keep ourselves healthy, and also the people who are there around us who are suffering from COVID-19, and pray for the best wishes that they also overcome this disease very fast and rejoin their daily routine as early as possible. So with this note, I'll start with the presentation. जी, visible है?
Yes.
Okay. So thank you once again, the organizers, for giving this opportunity. Today we'll be talking about the role of medicinal plants as immunity boosters during COVID-19. Now, at present, we all know globally that the data has been rising. Very high figures have been shown all over the globe. And in India, the cases which have been confirmed are like 3,20,922, with almost 9,195 plus deaths. So, corona virus disease, also known as COVID-19 pandemic, was first detected in December 19, and it was made as a reality of international concern by WHO, that is World Health Organization, as a pandemic on March 11th. So this is a highly dreadful disease we all are ravaging, highly infectious, which spreads from human to human through close contacts with infected persons exposed to coughing, sneezing, respiratory droplets, aerosols, where the symptoms, they range from a very mild illness to severe pneumonia, including fever, cough, sore throat, bitterness of throat, headaches. Whereas the less common symptoms which have been found are aches and pains, including diarrhea and conjunctivitis. And recently, there have been 2 symptoms which have been detected and reported, that is loss of taste and smell with rashes on the skin. So we know that there are asymptomatic cases also being reported at present in the recent times. And this has arisen concern for taking apt, suitable measures for our safety, that is the public health measures, which is including the frequent washing and sanitizing of hands, taking care of hygiene, social distancing, and following self-control. This is the most important. Now, this is our understanding as far as COVID-19 is concerned. Now, coming on to the researches going on across the globe, we feel that we need to have a strategy which includes designing a roadmap and many funding programs. First of all, we need to focus on pointing the virus, knowing more about the virus, making and understanding about its structure, about its genomics, its proteomics, diagnosing the virus, the ways and means, how we go through it, understanding the targets, like where the drugs are going to work, then designing therapeutics in drugs, maybe some new molecules. And we are already familiar with the traditional systems of medicines like Unani, Ayurveda, Siddha, homeopathy, etc. Then the process is carried forward for screening of such potent drug molecules, lot of screening methodologies and clinical trials are carried out with the support of medical devices, which have been constantly used by the people for protecting themselves, like gears, face masks, shields, gloves, PPEs, that is personal protective equipments. So before we actually discuss the role of the medicinal plants in boosting the immunity and contributing to a very healthy lifestyle, let us have a quick snapshot about COVID-19 virus. Most important of the structure, if I talk about this SARS-CoV-2 virus, is an important structural protein, which is also known as the spike protein, which is basically a homotrimer. And this protein is responsible for the receptor binding and membrane fusion between the virus and the host cell. So apart from the spike proteins, it has M proteins and E proteins, which form the viral envelope and help in maintaining the structural shape of the virus. So if we talk about SARS-CoV-2 at a glance, it is a roughly kind of spherical virus, spherically shaped, where particles have very bulbous projections. And it also gives appearance of crown-like projections with an average diameter of around 125 nanometers with spikes about 20 nanometers long. So this virus and the envelope of the virus consists of a lipid bilayer where these E, M, and S proteins are anchored. Inside the virus, the genome is basically RNA and it is packed in the nucleocapsid protein and it's covered by the envelope. So the most important part is when the virus interacts with the host cell, the structural protein, the spike protein, comes into action. The virus is sensitive to heat, to ultraviolet radiations, and it can be stored for several years at minus 80 degrees centigrade, and it can be inactivated at 56 degrees centigrade for around 30 to 35 minutes. Now, it shares a lot of sequence homology with the MERS virus and SARS-CoV virus, which is probably evolved from a strain found in bats also. Now, coming on to the diagnostics, it is very, very important for crucial management of the spread of disease. And constantly the efforts are made by the scientific fraternity at a global level, and also as far as our country is concerned and India is concerned. We are making hardcore efforts at national level also, and finding out drug solutions and designing therapeutic monoclonal antibodies, making use of some other solutions like plasma therapy, making use of the protective equipment, ventilators, masks, and all other devices which are used for the diagnosis. So now we all know that we all are ravaging, in the grip of COVID-19 pandemic, and tough decisions have to be taken ahead. So the whole world is suffering from this, and at the same time, we are witnessing calamities also, natural calamities like cyclones. We had Nisarga, we had Amphan in the recent times, earthquakes, landslides, and practically saying COVID-19 has drastically changed the scenario of even the education sector around the globe with many socio-economic challenges. So the question arises that are we ready to face these challenges in the coming times? Also, you can see on slide monsoon challenges, very tough times for the agriculture sector even, and somewhere it is kind of disturbing our mental health also. We've been witnessing cases of suicidal attempts and suicides in the last couple of days. So it is basically contributing to more of physical problems, health problems, and actually our lifestyle also. Just a minute. Just give me a second, please. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Sorry. So I'm very sorry for these technological glitches in between. Sorry for the inconvenience. So we'll continue. So at present, the world is ravaging, and we are in the grip of COVID-19 pandemic, where we can see we are suffering from food security loss. There is a complete halt in the education sector. Many health problems, including physical, mental, and these have been posing several socio-economic challenges on the society and the people per se. So now we have to see that how we can, opt for various ways and means, and we can change our attitude towards life, and we can reorient our lives. Of course, we have to, adopt another healthy living lifestyle so that, we may combat with this deadly disease. And remember, there is no better right time than today, that how we have to live a healthy life during COVID-19. So this is the time we all should, introspect ourselves as what are our duties, what are our responsibilities towards the society. And if we say we are fit, we are healthy enough, we can contribute something meaningful to our society also. So this is the time, friends, you have to reorient and reboot your life and, combat with Corona. And also looking at all those natural calamities which our Mother Earth is facing at present. I mentioned about the cyclones, I mentioned about the natural disasters like landslides, earthquakes we have been witnessing since last couple of days and months, I should say. So this nature, Mother Nature is giving us a warning that we have to, take some time off from our busy schedules, and we have to rethink and rebuild our relationship with nature. So this is high time we should start thinking on these fronts also. So next, the question comes that can we boost our immune system to fight COVID-19? And yes, a big yes from all of us. Of course, we are practicing ways and means. We have been making use of so many very good dietary and cookery supplements which we are taking in our diet to keep the virus away from us. So we know that since this has this entire duration since the COVID-19 started, this has changed a lot in our life. Now we can see, I did a small survey based on a questionnaire, quantitative questionnaire, where I could, find out that people are now eager to learn how to deal with the infection. They are more eager to understand how the virus spreads, how the infection spreads, how they have to take care of themselves, how they can improve their nutrition status, and understand more of the health infrastructure. So this is not a big deal that enhancing a body's natural defense system, as Professor Anil Prakash has already mentioned about immunity in detail. The antigen presenting cells, the B cells and the T cells, they are on their toes working day and night for us to prevent and, make our immune system strong. So we say that the body's natural defense system, our immune system, plays a very, very important role in maintaining our optimum health. And, more of coronavirus symptoms can be tackled, can be potentially managed with gentle herbal remedies also, while taking proper ample rest, taking good diet, and reducing stress. So COVID-19 is no way a harmless disease, but then, yes, you are not powerful against it. You have to always, think on these lines. Now, in this critical situation where do not have any drug at present, any vaccine at present as a potent remedial solution for this, where there is no modern medicine available. All the treatments which are followed and which I will be discussing based on the herb and medicinal plans, they're all possible preventive cures. Let me submit the fact to you all. So treatments we are continuing at present, they are just possible measures preventing the disease. So the treatments are basically symptom-based, where the drugs like ritonavir, lopinavir, and yesterday I was going through the TV channel where BBC has, named for giving dimethoxazole as a probable drug, which is very low cost option and affordable also masses. I mean, as a potent drug for the treatment of this virus, deadly virus. So we need to have an alternative system to prevent disease. And we know that in this case, the medicinal herbs are very promising, giving us very good results. And that the science of Ayurveda, the science of Siddha, Unani, these have been practiced by men, mankind since times immemorial. It is around 5,000 years ago, where the plants and new molecules, they are identified with some clinical trials we done at very instant measures, and Indian medicinal herbs again occupy a very, very important place and show very good results. But then again, the need of repurposing and, more of innovations required to find long-term solutions. So validation is required for a particular plant or a bioactive molecule from that plant to serve as a potential drug for the cure of the diseases. So total number of Indian medicinal plants, if I say, is around 3,000, which have been used for remedies, herbal remedies for treatment of various kind of illnesses, and approximately 25,000 of such plant-based formulations have been used in folklore medicines, and they have been, documented in ancient scriptures as well, Sushruta and all. Immunostimulating kind of actions and immunodilating effects with a very, giving a very strong boost to the immune system are their basic functions or their roles in our body. So some kind of drugs which are mentioned, I'm going to skip the slide and move ahead. So next we come to the role of health and nutrition, which have occupied a center stage in today's era. And the role of medicinal plants cannot be ignored. we will be talking about some immunity boosters, some medicinal plants, and I'll be explaining you what are the recent researches which have been going on in these plants. Like there are many plants, Bethania, that is we call Ashwagandha, then Emlica, and lot many plants are being, advised by various organizations who are working for the health concern for the country, ICMR, WHO, Ministry of Ayush. They have been giving guidelines time to time as how we have to practice, and adopt making use of these herbal strategies so that we have a good lifestyle, so that we have a good health, and we follow these so that we, keep ourselves distant from this virus. So we'll be talking about these in detail in the next coming slides. So first we are going to start this category with a very, very common product, I should say, the fruit which we have been using and consuming in our daily life regime, in our meals, in our diets, Philanthus emlica, in Hindi we call it as amla, and the dried fresh fruits are being used very commonly, where the primary ingredient in this fruit is an ancient herbal, that is rasayana, which is being used in Chyawanprash, which is also being recommended by Ayush Mantralaya. So it is very rich in its antioxidant properties and high vitamin C. So basically, when we talk about anti-inflammation or antioxidant properties or medicinal properties of a plant, these medicinal properties reside in some molecules which are also known as phytochemicals or secondary metabolites. Basically, there are two kinds of metabolites, primary and secondary. And primary metabolites are basically responsible for contributing to the growth and development of the plant. And the second part is, that is, the secondary metabolites. These are the chemicals, the molecules which are, providing a defensive activity to the plants. They have some kind of medicinal potential, and the scientists, the researchers, they are continuously working to exploit this medicinal potential from a plant and to convert it into a ready-made useful form, that is in the form of a drug, and commercialize it, and maybe we can make use of that for treating large number of diseases. So antioxidant property is very rich in vitamin C, that is very good for good digestive system, and it can stop the fireplace actually when we have some kind of acidic or alkaline foods. In very short durations, we have the problem of acidity. So very, very important as a reliever in case of such problems. Now we see the sales of Emlica officinalis has witnessed a very high upsurge owing to high consumer demand during the pandemic times. And you can go through and surf these channels where the coronavirus updates are being showing that Ayurveda has a lot to offer in the continuous fight against COVID-19, and Amla is a very, very important part of this Ayurveda. So there will be a more positive impact of coronavirus on the balance sheet of the pharmaceutical and the MNCs, the companies which are working to produce and process products which include Amla. So I would like to throw light on a pharmaceutical company, that is Savinasa Group. And as per the interview with the CEO of this big mighty group, Mr. Mohammed, he was like, as a result of its well-planned strategies of the company and very strong research and development capabilities they have in their house, they are seeing a rising demand for their products in the global market. And they have been producing some very good products which are, having very good anti-healing properties and anti-cancerous properties as well. So I'll be talking about Curcuma also in the next slide, where I'll be telling you about that they have patented and marketed a product which is C3 extract, and which is proven to be highly beneficial against viral and bacterial infections. So next we come to Curcuma. Curcuma is a potential aromatic herb, which is a genus of approximately 100 accepted species in the family Zingiberaceae. In Sanskrit, it is known as Kumkuma, which refers to turmeric or haldi, and Curcuma longa is widely approved variety, which is used as a part of nutrition and as a part of herbal remedy. So curcumin C3 complex, which is basically an extract of turmeric, Curcuma longa, with 95% of the alkaloids, which are known as curcuminoids, present in it. It has very good blockbuster activities, anti-inflammatory in nature. So this is being commercially exploited and sold in the Indian markets. And curcumin, along with other chemicals, also adds on to its properties, like it decreases swelling and inflammation. So trending now is the curcuma longer turmeric root extract market, which is estimated to experience again a very big hike in the growth global industry index, the growth segments, the revenue, and the manufacturers in Corona times. So again, very good potential of curcuma. Next, we come to one plant which has many roles, very, very important plant, which is being, currently used in many researches going on all over the globe. That is Tinospora cordifolia, against combating against this COVID pandemic. So it's also known as Giloy or Guduchi. And the root, the stem, and the leaves are basically used to prepare medicines. It is a part and a component of an Ayurvedic medicine, which is being commercially, sold in the form of tablets, capsules, and Giloy powder. So the extracts are basically the herbal preparations for treatment of various ailments, the mild ailments like illness like pain, aches. Then also used for antimicrobial, anti-osteoporotic when we suffer disease known as osteoporosis, where the bones start degrading. It is very helpful. I should say it is a boon. Anti-inflammatory, anti-diabetic properties also it has. Basically used as a fat regulator. Its anti-HIV effects are being harnessed, and they have been documented in a paper. It is also being used widely as a healthy stress buster, also treating various kinds of fever, making respiratory systems very strong. So nowadays, the products which we make use of this Giloy are not only Giloy, but in combination with Tulsi. A very healthy immunity boosting drink is available with Giloy and Tulsi extracts, which makes you whole from cough and cold. So we should all try during these times. And the other thing is that the dose is also very important. Nothing should be taken in excess. So next, I would like to throw light on a TBGRI model of benefit sharing. This involves making use of the knowledge of the tribal communities of the indigenous people who have been, dwelling in the continent since ages and making use of the herbal plants, medicinal plants. And these plants are the part and parcel of their life, whether it is earning their livelihood or whether it is, nutrition, that is taking diet, or whether it is curing them from diseases. So access and benefit sharing from the indigenous people's perspective, and this is a very widely popular known model, which is also known as the TBGRI Kani model. Kani refers to a tribe in the Agastya region, that is a region in the along the Western Ghats area of India, and they have been making use of this wild plant species, which is also known as Trichophus zeylanicus. And the lead is provided by the Kani tribe around the Agastya hills of Western Ghats, and it shows very good properties like immunomodulating, anti-fatigue properties. So TBGRI was very, very successful. The TBGRI, that is Botanical Garden and Research Institute, which is located in Kerala. It was basically being designed and developed on the theme of Royal Botanical Garden Kew. And it is being run as an initiative of Ministry of Environments and Forests, that is in a project which is called as ENVIS. So TBGRI was very successful in developing and scientifically validating. See, here I should tell you that that there is a plant which has a lot of medicinal activities and potential. Now, how to make use of this? You'll start, kind of doing some kind of research involving the use of that part of the plant, maybe leaf, maybe fruit, maybe flower, maybe root, which has some kind of medicinal compounds or bioactives. You try isolating those compounds. You try their antimicrobial activities, maybe against a bacteria or a fungi, and then you commercialize it, maybe starting from pilot level to a higher level. So this involves a lot of scientific validation and standardization before it is commercially launched in a market. So CBRI was very much successful in harnessing and taking this knowledge from these tribes, the Kani tribes, and they have done a kind of technology transfer also. So based on their herbal and tribal knowledge, they commercialized this plant and they released a drug, and they started with the commercial production also in the year 1995, and the technology was transferred to Arya Vaidya Pharmacy, which is located in Bittur, and they provided a fee of rupees 10 lakh for licensing. And this is a very unique and first example of, I should say, equitable sharing of benefits with the tribal people. And even they got advantage where, they were given some kind of subsidy also and share also. So this model is also known as Pushpangadan model. So this is the first and the unique example of benefit sharing of resources. Next, we come to a very, very important plant. All of us know about Ashwagandha. It is a very small evergreen shrub, and the root powder is very popular and used as a part of traditional medicine. Basically, it is used as an adaptogen. Adaptogen finds its meaning from the word adapt, and adapt means just somewhat trying your body, how to manage stress, adapting your body in the form that how you can, manage stress. So boosting the functions of the brain, lowering the blood sugar level and managing it properly, cortisol levels, then helps to fight symptoms like fever, headache, lot of anxiety and depression people have in the coming times, that till what extent these conditions are going to prevail in the country, for how long we have to sit in our homes and work from home. Ideally, this has practically changed everybody's life, as I mentioned before. So people are facing kind of stress, anxiety, and depression also, and suicidal, attempts also. So Ashwagandha deals in such kind of problems. And the first report of this, that is using natural phytochemicals, that is making use of Ashwagandha, has been there. And it is a very viable option for controlling COVID-19 entry into the host cells. And the researchers are working on this front. And this report has been already, went under publication. And apart from all the medicinal herbs which we all know, I will be reading only very few in this presentation, this talk. So Ashwagandha stands on the forefront as a priority herb, as a priority medicinal plant, I should say, in the lines of curbing COVID-19 infectivity. I will throw light on a very small aspect of this research. There are some molecular dynamics, although I'm not the expert of such kind of studies, but I wish to create awareness and tell you all that molecular docking studies, molecular simulation studies are being going on, and thousands of phytochemicals and antimicrobial compounds are screened every day against the ACE2 receptor binding domain complex. Molecular dynamic simulation studies have revealed that one of the very important phytochemical which is present in Withania somnifera, which is also known as Withanone, has docked very well in binding surface of this ACE2 RBD domain receptor complex, and it has kind of formed salt bridges and interrupted the electrostatic interactions between the receptor binding domain and the ACE2 receptor. That means the molecule is somewhere hitting the target, and it has potential to block or weaken the entry of COVID-19 SARS-CoV-2 virus in the host cell. So we should keep our fingers crossed till it gets exploited and we get a viable solution for combating this disease. Now, continuing further, it would be very apt if I say Ashwagandha as a COVID-19 warrior, apart from the other warriors, who are working 24/7 for all of us. And it has explored the possibility of some of the very important bioactives also to interact with this virus, that is SARS-CoV-2. So one of the very important and promising researches have been carried out with the collaboration of Department of Biotechnology, DBT, where Ashwagandha takes lead in IIT Delhi study to be a COVID-19 warrior. So here the researchers have targeted the main enzyme, the protease enzyme. See, we have to prevent the virus entry into the host cell or the virus replication into the host cell. So the virus replication can be prevented by making use of mechanisms like inhibition of the protease, serine proteases enzymes, or the viral virus replication we can inhibit. So the researchers have targeted here the main SARS-CoV-2 enzyme, that is the main protease enzyme, which is also designated as the MPRO for splitting proteins. Now MPRO plays a very important crucial role in mediating the replication of virus in the host cell. So this is again, if it is clicking here, so it can be used as a very attractive target for this virus. And since we don't have an enzyme in our bodies to produce this enzyme, we are not able to naturally produce this enzyme. So compounds which are, targeting this enzyme can come into limelight, and, they can, they are more likely to have low toxicity as well. So a natural compound which I mentioned about, vithanol, that is derived from ashwagandha, has the potential to interact widely and block the activity of the serine protease enzyme. So a good news for all of us. Next we come to Ocimum tenuiflorum, the synonym Ocimum sanctum. We all know it is a plant which is, worshipped by millions as per the Hindu mythology, an aromatic perennial plant, which is also, symbolized as a herb for all the reasons. If you have a sore throat, you can, you have two leaves of tulsi. If you have a kind of facing some kind of stress, you may have tulsi tea. Then, you can use it as a sanitizing agent. You can use it for your skin and health problems, hair problems. And the honorable dignitaries, also Professor Anil Prakash sir, mentioned about kadha. So basically for boosting immunity, tulsi kadha is very popularly used as a very immune boosting agent. Then Amul has recently launched tulsi and ginger milk also after the golden milk, that is also known as haldi milk, to boost immunity amid COVID-19. So full of antioxidants, full of, flavonoids, vitamins, minerals, and also a substance, eugenol, a bioactive compound that has antimicrobial and antifungal, antibacterial properties, which reduces stress and plasma glucose levels. So it hardly matters that, you start your day when you worship the plant, you have it in your family. You have to, just think of making use of the plant using multi-pronged strategies. And it hardly takes a single minute to make use of the plant in the form of different remedies. So again, I request you to just give me a small break of 1 minute, and maybe I'll be back to you all again after 1. Thank you. So we were discussing about the uses of, I hope everybody can hear me.
Yes, ma'am, you can continue, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So, yes, so we are back. Now, what kind of food products, or I should say meals containing fruits, vegetables, which are rich in good antioxidants, we can, afford, and we can make use of them in our daily diets. Consuming foods which are very rich sources of vitamin C, maybe grapes, oranges, peppers, broccoli, strawberries. They are thought to increase the white blood cell count in the body, and which, plays a very important role in fighting infection. So जो ये WBC cells, श्वेत रक्त कोशिकाएं होती हैं, they are very good in playing a defensive role, and they protect our body from infections. Then a very rich source of vitamin A, that is making use of fruits and vegetables, carrot, pumpkin, which are very important sources of beta carotene, which is a very important, component of vitamin A, anti-inflammatory also in nature, and it helps your antibodies again to respond to the virus very effectively. Then vitamin E is a very fat-soluble vitamin. Of course, all vitamins play a very important role, but here it plays a very key role in regulating the immune system function. And the rich sources of vitamin E includes avocado, the nuts, the seeds, the flax seeds, the sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds. Then we all know and we are used to making use of ginger and garlic in our daily diet. So they have compounds which fight all the potential microbes, the pathogenic microbes, in a variety of ways by stimulating the immune cells of the body and regulating the immune system properly. Then I will throw light on a very important patented invention, which is by the Institute of Advanced Technology, Defense Institute of Advanced Technology, Pune. So they have patented this product. They have prepared it making use of a herbal extract, which is obtained from neem oil, turmeric, tulsi, making use of ajwain, that is carom seeds, black pepper. इसमें उन्होंने clove, लौंग भी ऐड किया, sandalwood, चंदन भी ऐड किया, केसर भी ऐड किया, saffron भी ऐड किया, and they have basically made use of extract of all these plants, and they have impregnated into the non-woven nanofibers of this 3-layered biodegradable mask. So it is antiviral in nature. It is claimed that it is resisting bacteria also. It is immunity boosting agent as being advised per the guidelines of Ayush Ministry. And the virus neutralizer masks, it resists pathogens very effectively. This is what is being claimed by the invention of पवित्र पति इस मास्क का नाम जो है वो पवित्र पति है, which is a product of Defense Institute of Advanced Technology, Pune. So kind of again personal protective equipment which we can make use, and very cheap and affordable also. Now some more plans I have mentioned here: Allium sativum, Camellia sinensis, Nigella sativa, fennel, that is Somphinicum vulgare, Linum staticulum flax, Indigo tinctoria, Vitis trifolia. Some tree species have also been, harnessed for their antimicrobial compounds which have antiviral, antibacterial activities. Now, coming to the next, some immunity promoting measures, which I think all of us are aware of, but still we should not take them very lightly. And again, I should say, when I did the survey on this and I made use of the questionnaire, I included questions that how you start with your, morning regime, and you make use of warm water, you make use of spices like haldi, garlic, dhania, lehsun, and taking Chyawanprash. So making use of, meditating and exercising regularly. These are not that practically followed by people, although it takes very less time to say that these things are so affordable, they are so cheap. You can make them a part and parcel of our life. You can start your daily life, your practical routine with some yogasanas, but hardly people follow them. So I on this platform I recommend this. I humbly request you all to start your day with such measures, and you'll be benefited a lot. Please include drinking warm water, lukewarm water throughout the day, then practicing, relaxation and meditation exercises, making use of all these herbs, shrubs, and products of medicinal plants. And Ayush Mantralaya has also recommended Chyawanprash. And nowadays, Chyawanprash is available for diabetic patients also, that is sugar-free one. You can make use of decoctions and very easy remedies which can be prepared at home also. They don't take much time. Herbal teas, like tulsi, including dalchini, cinnamon, black pepper, kali mirch, dry ginger, that is salt, munakka, raisins, once or twice a day. And then you can see, find the difference that how do you feel? Do you feel relaxed? Do you feel, stable mentally also, physically also? And it kinds of, balances your entire day, your lifestyle. And you can, add jaggery also as an alternative to natural sugar. And nowadays, we are making more use of palm jaggery, jisko hum kehte hain khajur ka gur. Then making use of golden milk before going to bed. Like golden milk is nothing but basically haldi wala doodh, turmeric milk. Then you can also make use of some nasal applications like making use of coconut oil, sesame oil in both the nostrils during morning, evening, and maybe going out of home. And then oil pulling therapy is also being recommended, that you can, not only putting the oil in the nostrils and, preventing the entry of microbes, but you can always, making use of these oils as swishing in your mouth, just like gargles. You can have to keep it for 1 or 2 minutes and then you have to swish it out. So spit it out. So this is, even if you do not have oil mixed in, water or simply oil, you just make use of warm water and, you spit it off after 2 or 3 swishes. So this is going to help you in, fighting against sore throat or cough problem. Nowadays, we are going to face monsoon challenges in the coming time, and we know that yes, COVID-19 will absolutely hit the accelerator. So steam inhalation is advised, which Pudina mint leaves. It is widely available now. Pudina leaves with ajwain, seeds, and it can be practiced once or twice a day. Even clove powder, which can be mixed with honey, लौंग को पाउडर करिए, उसको नेचुरल शुगर या हनी के साथ मिक्स करके आप दिन में 3 दफा लें. Then other invention. And when we talk about all this, I know practically you all might be knowing and you must have listened. And since we have been born and brought up in Indian families, I know that लोग इस बात से बिल्कुल वंचित नहीं होंगे कि अपनी दादी और नानी से जो है उन घरेलू नुस्खे नहीं सीखे या अडॉप्ट नहीं किए. So nevertheless, we do not have to forget all those grandma remedies, all those herbal remedies, हमारी दादी और नानी माँ के घरेलू नुस्खे, which have proven to be very, very beneficial, just as a possible prevention measures against any kind of infection in general and particularly COVID-19. Now coming on to next invention by a very promising research organization of the country, that is CFTI, Central Food and Technological Research Institute, Mysuru. They have done a tremendous good job of supplying, spirulina chicky, an immunity boost to all the healthcare professionals and the Pravasi Mazdoors also, as a very potent and nutritious source of, immunity. So spirulina, we all know, हमने इसका नाम भी सुना है. It is a biomass of blue-green algae, which we consume easily by humans. And there are 3 species of spirulina. Fusiformis, Maxima, and platensis. It is basically algae that is seaweed, and it is based and as a super snack in today's times, in Corona times. It is having a long shelf life. It can easily prepared at home with very few ingredients. It delights our taste buds. All feel very nice having chicken as a light snack. It strengthens our gut system also, and it is full of vitamin A, beta carotene, easily digestible algal proteins. So a must for Corona times to boost our immunity, spirulina chicky. Next, we come to another very important green gold plant, also known as wow factor, that is Artemisia annua, which is to be tested against coronavirus, and an international collaboration here is conducted by the laboratory Max Planck Institute in Germany, where the cell studies with the plant extracts are being going on. And the Max Planck Institute of Germany and Interfaces, which is again another the Institute of Colloids and Interfaces. This is collaborated with Artima Life, that is a US-based multinational company. And here the medical researchers in Denmark and Germany are testing Artemisia annua extracts, plant extracts. It is just a green fern-like plant. and they are testing the derivatives of this extract. It is also known as wow factor because we know, आप भी जानते होंगे, artemis से अनवा से artemisinin बनता है, and artemisinin is a potent drug which is used as an anti-malarial also. So the researchers are, collaborating and doing research studies, health studies against COVID-19, SARS-CoV-2 virus, and they are, at present, since there are no effective treatments against COVID-19, so they are, making use of these plant extracts to find out a novel molecule, and we get soon we'll get a good cure for this disease. Next. Now coming on to what are the initiatives which have been taken by our country regarding corona virus, SARS-CoV-2 virus during the pandemic times. The researchers have been initiated in National Institute of Virology, Pune, where they have sequenced and submitted 7 genomes of SARS-CoV-2 from 2 patients in Kerala. Then the institutes like CSIR, CCMB, Center for Cell and Molecular Biology, Hyderabad, and Institute of Genomics and Integrative Biology, IGIB, they are working on the whole genome sequencing of coronavirus in partnership with the NCDC, that is National Center for Disease Control. Department of Biotechnology is networking on 1,000 genome, which is being started with various other organizations like Translational Health Research Institute, Faridabad, and CDFD, that is Center for Diagnostics and Fingerprinting, Hyderabad. 4,000 people which were, kept in quarantine centers, and 538 patients who were, given Arogya Kasayan, that is again a Kada decoction, that is known as Arogya Kasayan 20 decoction, which has, shown positive results. And now the team of 7 Ayurvedic experts is conducting clinical trials in 90 districts on just to check the efficiency of this Kada, decoction in treating COVID patients. So Ministry of Ayush has claimed these, and it is into the pipeline of getting published with good positive results of this Kada on COVID patients. Next. Now, coming on to the conclusion of the presentation, I wish and recommend you all to, just go through very good factual description of how to, survive in these times and how to make use of Herbal Remedies Handbook, that is by Alois Kirol. And in this one, 40 plants have been mentioned, which have been used in the form of various products used to treat diseases. Some super immunity foods. Here I should mention the fact that there are facts and news, stating the use of superfoods. हमें superfoods लेने चाहिए corona times में, just to combat the virus and stay healthy. So I submitted that there is no such food which can be categorized as a superfood or as a non-superfood. This designation is just given to make it in a trending way, a sort of marketing strategy as superfoods. So must read in these corona times. Next, coming on to WHO is supporting scientifically proven traditional medicine and some Chinese medicine, medicinal plant extracts. Some Western medicines have been used, and the research is under progress. Very soon, we are going to get some good news that they are being very effective in supporting and treating COVID-19. And there are some other natural compounds isolated from other medicinal plants from other countries in Africa, and some in silico investigations are going on. Now, coming on to the bottom line, we know that there are many phytocompounds, which can be harnessed, which can be characterized from the medicinal plants, and it can be, used as potential therapeutic agents for curing many diseases. So this we all know. And we know that medicinal plants, they display a plethora of activities, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, antiviral. But it is favorable at this time for us to consider them, for the treatment of COVID-19. But then again, it requires standard clinical trials. Their efficacy has to be determined, and they have to be carried out on a scientifically proven basis with, all validations. With highest number of tribals in our country and a good myriad of genetic resources we have, probably the highest in the world, here arises the need of validating, repurposing, and innovating them and making use of them as good potential drug targets. So way to go, friends. Unlike the modern system of medicine, which we all, follow, the mechanism of action of natural drugs is, still not resolved so far. How do they work, how they have to be characterized on a very large scale, and how they have to be, potentially used as a cure for disease. So I'm so happy to tell you that IIT Delhi has taken this initiative. Then AIST researchers, that is an institute working in Japan, and they have been, collaborating together. And with the support of DBT, there has been a lab established, iLab isko kehte hain. There has been a lab established in IIT Delhi. They are collaborating together, they are working. So, इससे एक चीज और भी मैसेज मैं आपको देना चाहूंगी that science can never be done in isolation. You all have to come up with our ideas. We have to exchange our views. We have to take in consideration each other's opinions, and then we have to finally work together to come up with a very viable option. So at present, IIT Delhi and AIST researchers have been working together, and they are trying to strengthen this gap, bridging this gap. They are trying to strengthen this avenue by merging the traditional knowledge, the indigenous knowledge of our tribal communities with the modern day technologies. So I think this is a very, very good initiative which our country has taken. Now, while the well-trusted reputation of the Ayurveda, the Ashwagandha as an immunity enhancer, and as I mentioned in the presentation that, it will not be bad if I call Ashwagandha as a corona warrior. So as an immunity enhancer, it forms the basis of the recent initiative of the government of India in forming an interdisciplinary task force. तो एक interdisciplinary यानी सारे disciplines को merge करके एक task force का संगठन हुआ है, which is a joint initiative by Ministry of Ayush, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, and with the Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR. And they've launched its clinical research studies, which are related to the severity of SARS-CoV-2 virus. So again, a happy moment for all of us, but way to go for this. Now, these are some of the references which I made use making this presentation, and this last slide shows at our level, when we are a part of our family as an individual, how can we make use of some innovative ways, and you can you make changes in your own ways. Everybody knows that we have to start our day with prayer. Everybody knows that you have to meditate, you have to practice yoga, you have to go for some charity, you have to fulfill some kind of social responsibilities since you are a part of this society. Everybody knows this. But how we can repurpose it the way we want to live our lives? How can we rethink and re-innovative and make some changes into this regime? There are some kind of innovative ways which can really help us to cope up in these times. So it is always said that prevention is better than cure. So we have in our hands, it is popularly said that we are what we eat, we are what we do, we are what we practice. So let us all make this a part of an active schedule in our lives, a healthy schedule in our lives. And last but not the least, I wish to acknowledge and say heartfelt thanks to all the authors and all the researchers whose research work, whose the presentations and whose research contributions have been used in my presentation for this particular talk. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Last but not the least, nevertheless, we know that positive anything is better than negative nothing. I know, except the coronavirus. Yes. So a powerful attitude awakens your inner strength, which is very much important in today's time, combating this deadly disease. We know that there is corona outside. So, whatever we have to do, whatever we have in our hands is our inner strength, our energy, motivation, and then, the time to take initiative. So, my dear friends, stay home, stay healthy, eat healthy, adjust to this new normal and help everybody in flattening the curve. So my thank you to you all for patiently listening to me. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. And really, your presentation was very clear, and we all have learned a lot about the plants that you have mentioned, which will improve our immunity. And now it's a question answering session, as we have already said before, for the last 5 minutes. And actually, we have only one question related to that, which is, I'm showing it to you. What is the role of homeopathic arsenicum album 30 in COVID-19? And that was the question. And the sender wants to know about the work of this particular homeopathic arsenum album 30 in the COVID-19. So if you have any idea about this, ma'am,
Okay.
can you throw light on it?
Yeah. I mean, practically everybody, you know, just out of fear of this deadly disease and coronavirus, you know, it has created nightmare in everybody's life. So people are finding ways and means, you know, brushing like some positive, you know, possible preventions which they can follow, which they can, you know, access easily. So this is a homeopathic medicine which is labeled as Arsenicum 30. And as far as my knowledge is concerned, we are already aware about arsenic and its role in the contamination of water. So when we prepare this medicine, it's a homeopathic remedy. When we prepare this, we have to make use of, you know, arsenic, and I guess less than 1% of arsenic is being used to prepare this homeopathic dawa. So when we prepare it with water, we have to distill it several times, and this process is repeated thrice. And it is also recommended that you have to take it 2-3 times, I guess, empty stomach, since one of my acquaintances shared with me, although I am not taking this medicine. The Central Council of Homeopathic Research has mentioned about its use that it just can be used as a prophylactic. That means just to prevent disease. So it is just, I mean, this is my own personal opinion that it is, can be used only as a possible preventive measure, and there has been no such, you know, claimed report that it is being used successfully to combat or to prevent COVID-19. That's it.
Okay, I think the answer will be clear to the audience. And ma'am, one more question is there. The people wants your PPT to be available. So is there any method or means through which they can read that PPT?
I will definitely share the PPT with you. This presentation contains some kind of unpublished data actually. So let me publish this data. Okay. I will surely send it to you all, and you know, you can, you know, disseminate the entire information through the email and send it to all the participants. Okay, but just give me a time, time of 2 to 3 days. Yeah.
Sure, ma'am. Sure. So these were the few questions which I would like to ask you, because the participants are already satisfied with your brief presentation which you have given, and the explanation, very nice explanation to all the terms which were actually very difficult to pronounce. And yeah. So if for further query, we will send your contact numbers and your email IDs to the participants. If they have any queries, they can directly contact with you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sparing us such a large time with us, and so patiently you have explained everything. Very typical words, very typical terminologies to the normal people to understand, and we are from the different streams, but we still were able to understand the scientific names of the various plants and the scientific properties of these various plants. So it was really a great lecture from your side. So we are really thankful.
Even I feel pleasure, and I should congratulate you for wonderful hosting of the program, Dr. Punia. And again, thank you to Shri Sunil Soniji, the director of Bhagyashree Seva Sansthan, a voluntary organization which is working for the welfare and catering the needs of all the students and providing them free access to digital, you know, education, which is the need of the hour in Corona times, actually, when the education sector has been put on a complete halt. So people, and in fact, the government is, making initiatives to foster more of such online teaching learning strategies so that the students can be benefited. So this is a very good work which is initiated by Sri Sunil Soniji, the director of this organization. I also wish to place on record my heartfelt thanks to you all for giving me this opportunity to share my findings on this current topic. Although I could not complete it and I could not include some other important slides, including some other medicinal plants and tree species, but I feel maybe some next time I will definitely, through some other opportunity, disseminate this information among all the stakeholders. So thank you once again. I also think it is a warm pleasure to be with associated with the teachers who always inspire you. And it was a wonderful opportunity to see Professor Anil Prakash sir, who is not only a very good, inspiring professor, also a teacher par excellence, and who has always motivated us and to work for the benefit of our students and contribute some very meaningful and relevant to the society also. So thank you, Professor Anil Prakash Sarji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. We wish you to see again with a few more your recent research data and with a new topic to listen from your side. We wish to see you again.
Sure.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So thank you. Thank you, everybody.
At last, I would like to thank our today's chief guest, Dr. Anil Prakash sir, Professor and Head Department of Microbiology, Batula University, Bhopal, who has spared a lot of time with us and shared a knowledgeable your own presentation with us. So I want to thank Ms. Dr. Niranjan Shrotia sir and Dr. Suman Srivastav ma'am also. They are our mentors, we can say. We are working there in the Guna and in the our own college, and we hope these two people will in future organize such kind of conferences and workshops, and we will be able to organize these workshops under their expertise and guidance. And I would like to lastly thank the organizer of this particular webinar, Sunil Soni sir, and also Vijay Kaushik ji, who is having a channel in which this particular webinar is online posted, and it is already through the Facebook medium also. It is already hosted by the Sunil Soni also. So at last, I would like to welcome all the helping hands which have made this particular sessions and a successful one, and who have really motivated us all to be present together to discuss a particular this particular issue with the core of heart. And I really want to thank all the committee members who were present on the screen or behind the screen. So at last, I would like to thank one and all, and I wish we will meet again soon. Thank you all.